people, welcome to the channel, and in this case talking about the three main concerns that most players have with Star Wars Outlaw. And let's start with the first one, and not going into the politics of what Disney does with Star Wars and so on. I do cover that in other videos, but specifically for Star Wars Outlaw, the problem with the main protagonist being female, well, it simply is a matter of most men not relating to having a female character. It's not about patriarchy. It's not about being against women. It's about not wanting to be a Latina, mixed race, whatever the hell that is, woman, because you are not a woman and you don't identify with a character that is basically a woman. Again, it's not about having anything against female characters, which I bet women prefer playing with female characters. Any video game character is basically going to be an alter ego of the player. You're looking at something that you feel represents you in this universe, and to watch the back of the head of this woman is not doing it for me, and obviously for a lot of other people as well. You have some folks that are fine with it. I will say that the great majority of men that have any kind of self-appreciation and like being men, you will not feel like this is you. You will just feel like, yeah, I'm moving around this lady, and it just doesn't do it. The main point, I believe, is a very valid point, and without getting into the politics of it, once you understand who wrote this character and the kind of personality that the person has and so on, you understand why she wrote, Disney stereotypical strong female girl with a little cat running around. But it does not do it for most guys that want to play as a man. The perfect solution is, of course, give people both. Give the people the option of playing like this woman, which it's just fine. Give people the option of playing like a woman or playing as a man. You could go the extra step, which would have been appreciated in the first Star Wars open world game, giving you the option of customizing this anywhere you want, any way. Giving the option of choosing a man, choosing a woman, changing the hair, changing the skin, and people that want to play as a black dude because you're a black dude and you want to see kind of yourself in this hero that you're playing for hours and hours. Yeah, you do yourself your black guy with a hair that you find cool and whatnot. And if you're a woman, you do something similar, either yourself, either something you like to play as. Giving people the option, at the very least, as they've done before, giving people the option of having a male and a female character that will somewhat satisfy, both options. This closing you into a kind of woke-ish way of forcing you to play as this female character is very disappointing, and there's a lot of people that simply, I just look at it and I'm thinking, you know what, as I open the world and I start playing and I start finding myself here, I'm just seeing something else. I'm seeing this woman, this lady. As I change the clothes, the jacket, the armor, it is still gonna be all on a woman. It's nothing like you see yourself at, and all of those things just really put a super massive dent on the experience, especially if it's an open world RPG kind of game. RPG is about you having that experience, and it's really affected by this most likely political choice of Disney of saying, yeah, you're gonna be playing as a woman, and the characters are all women, and the bad guy is a woman, and the gang leader is a woman, and everything is, the force is female, like Kathleen Kennedy said. Well, okay, good luck with that. A lot of people will just not find that all that appealing. Number two, second point, which is also very valid, which is you're looking at a game that I have some strong doubts about how really open world this is. I've heard there being said that it's many planets, thousands of planets, and you can just land on any of them. This does not look like that. This looks quite linear in terms of you go through a specific path. If they can project this to several planets and all of the surfaces, this looks like areas. This looks like you can go to different places, but it's kind of limited in how far you can move. It doesn't seem like the typical sandbox open world where you can go absolutely everywhere. This does not look like your cutscenes from Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom or games that give you that kind of freedom. Does not look like No Man's Sky or like Starfield that we were looking at recently. It looks very, very linear in terms of you follow a path. A little bit like Jedi Survivor, I think. So Jedi Survivor is not open world either, not really in the true sense of the word. But scenes like this is really something that at any moment I can just walk into this place and I'll find the fish lady there or something else. She won't be there. How exactly does this work? We don't have the information. The character of that little gremlin cat pisses me off. I don't find that cute or funny. I mean, again, this may be a problem of the writer, the very feminist activist writer behind this. She leaves those fingerprints of hers on what she does, and it just appeals maybe to someone like her and a guy, and specifically a guy that is not into all of that woke politics. It just rubs you like crap. It just leaves you out an awful sensation. So yeah, the open world aspect of this, man, I like to see some actual real gameplay. What we see here seems to be pretty restricted and tailored. In terms of space, yeah, space is super easy to do. You can fly around a black vacuum of nothingness all day long. But exactly how that works in terms of landing, I mean, when there's the takeoff thing, seems as if she's actually leaving the atmosphere. Is that really how it's going to work every single time? Can you actually land anywhere that you want? Just questions we have, and we'll see the answer. The final point, which I quite disagree with, is, oh, there's no lightsabers, there's no force. Well, dude, yeah, for once. And it still has to be decided, because if this is as open world as it's supposed to be, why couldn't you find a lightsaber somewhere? So it's not completely an aspect that you won't have 100%. At some point, could you pick up there's no requirement to pick up a lightsaber and press a button and activate it. How good will you be with that thing or not? Well, swinging around. I guess if you are really going for that open world RPG experience, yeah, there are lightsabers in this universe and you could come across one. Does it mean that you will have the option of going through the path of a Jedi? Well, again, in a real, true open world Star Wars game, you would assume that, yeah, your character could become that, even though, well, all the aspect of starting at an early age and such, but it's not something that for me is going to be a deal breaker at all. If you're telling me that no, there's not going to be any lightsabers here, I mean, probably you'll fight someone with a lightsaber at some point. I guess that one of the enemies could have it. But if you're telling me that you can't be a Jedi, you're only limited to being like an outlaw or traitor or whatever the hell it is you end up doing in this open world game as a profession or as part of the story of the game, that's fine. Not all Star Wars games have to be about being a damn Jedi and wielding a lightsaber. In fact, if you really want to have that, you have Jedi Survivor right now with just those things. And yes, the Jedi Survivor does have an only male character, which works for men, probably does not work so well for some women. If they had given the option of having a female Jedi, yeah, I guess that would have made everyone happy. But it is what it is. Unfortunately, you don't have that choice in either one of these games, and that's something that hopefully at some point they have an expansion. They have some other version or some way of getting that sorted out. Anyway, that's what I see here. It looks very nice. It's something that so many of us have been dreaming about for decades. The idea of a open world Star Wars game, you doing whatever you want. You can be an outlaw, you can be a trader, you can be a mechanic, you can just do a RPG element of whatever your heart desires. That would have been the awesome, best possible open world experience in the Star Wars universe. But it is what it is. We'll see how this turns out, if they eventually give us some other options, or if you're just locked with being the 80s hair lady that we see as the main character of Star Wars Outlaw. Folks, see you on our next video. Take care.